like to thank all the organizations and the people, the concerned citizens who have come here and who have helped us put together this vigil. So in alphabetical order are Association for India's Development, Alliance for Secular and Democratic South Asia, Boston Coalition for Justice in Bhopal, Christian Medical College Alumni, Harvard Alap, International Action Center Boston, Mass Global Action, Matahari Eye of the Day, South Asians for Progressive Action, Sanghati, Workshop Salas, and all concerned citizens who have come here from all walks of life. You all know why we have gathered here today. Because we are demanding the release of Dr. Binayak Sen, who has been working relentlessly for the last 3 decades in the central state of India called Chhattisgarh, where he has worked tirelessly for the poor people, the tribals, and he has raised his voice against the human rights violation that's been going on in Chhattisgarh, and that was his crime. Because he worked for the poor and he spoke for the poor. That was his crime. And the government of Chhattisgarh put him in jail with fabricated charges which have not yet been proven. Today is the 2nd anniversary of his unjust arrest, and no charges have been proven against him. He has not even been given bail because he supposedly is a threat to the national security of India. A man who has toiled relentlessly for 3 decades for the poor without salary is supposedly a threat to India. So today we have gathered here to demand for the release of this good doctor who's been in jail for 2 years, and now he has developed a heart condition and his health is failing, and in spite of that the government is not letting him get proper medical attention and care. So we are jailing him is insane.
Free Binayak Sen.
Jailing him is insane.
Free Binayak Sen.
Jailing him is insane.
Free Binayak Sen. You are committing genocide.
Salwa Judam, you can't hide.
You are committing genocide.
Salwa Judam, you can't hide.
You are committing genocide.
Salwa Judam, you can't hide. उनका अत्याचार
बंद करो, बंद करो.
सर्वजिदम का अत्याचार
बंद करो, बंद करो.
विनायक सेन के सारे साथी
एक हैं.
विनायक सेन के सारे साथी
एक हैं.
बॉस्टन में, बाल्टीमोर में
एक हैं.
न्यूयॉर्क में, कैलिफोर्निया में
एक हैं.
पेरिस में, पिट्सबर्ग में
एक हैं.
डैलस में, वैंकूवर में
एक हैं.
स्टॉकहोम में, ह्यूस्टन में
एक हैं.
वॉशिंगटन में, फिलाडेल्फिया में
एक हैं.
हम सब
एक हैं.
हम सब
एक हैं. संघर्ष हमारा नारा है.
हर जोर जुल्म की टक्कर में
संघर्ष हमारा नारा है.
हर जोर जुल्म की टक्कर में
संघर्ष हमारा नारा है.
We are asking for the freedom of Dr. Binayak Sen. We are asking for the freedom of the Adivasis from the state repression. We are asking the freedom from hunger, from corruption, from everything that goes on to make the lives of these people miserable. So in Hindi, Azadi means freedom. So that's what we are asking for. It's the freedom of these things. So I'll say a line and then you will say Azadi. So we are basically asking for all kinds of freedom for all people. हम क्या मांगे?
आजादी.
हम सबको प्यारी
आजादी.
विनायक की भी
आजादी.
सल्वाजुदम से
आजादी.
सरकारी दमन से
आजादी.
अधिकारों की हनन से
आजादी.
गरीबी से भी
आजादी.
हिंसा से भी
आजादी.
भ्रष्टाचार से मांगे
आजादी.
अत्याचार से मांगे
आजादी.
हम सबको प्यारी
आजादी.
विनायक की भी
आजादी.
हम क्या मांगे?
आजादी.
हम सबको प्यारी
आजादी.
सल्वाजुदम से
आजादी.
भ्रष्टाचार से
आजादी.
अत्याचार से
आजादी.
हम क्या मांगे?
आजादी.
भ्रष्टाचार से
आजादी.
बोस्टन में भी
आजादी.
रायपुर में भी
आजादी.
छत्तीसगढ़ में
आजादी.
आदिवासियों की
आजादी.
छत्तीसगढ़ में
आजादी.
दिल्ली में भी
आजादी.
बोस्टन में भी
आजादी.
न्यूयॉर्क में भी
आजादी.
हम क्या मांगे?
आजादी.
हम सबको प्यारी
आजादी.
हम क्या मांगे?
आजादी.
हम सबको प्यारी
आजादी.
the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms around perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, led my country away. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन। ओ हमने है विश्वास, पूरा है विश्वास, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन। আমরা করব আমরা করব জয়, আমরা করব জয় নিশ্চয়। ও বুকে গভীর আজে ভয়, আমরা করব জয় নিশ্চয়।
Someone who I would consider the most compassionate of people, with a tremendous sense of integrity. This is purely payback for exposing what was going on in the state in the name of modernization and so on. So I just want to point out, if there's anything said about Binayak to suggest that he's in any way fomenting violence, that is as far from the truth, and that's the reason why nothing has actually come out in the case against him. So
about Binayak Sen's, Dr. Binayak Sen's 2 years of continued imprisonment, but possibly it is useful to realize that this struggle and also the imprisonment is not really about the person. The person really is the doctor is an index case for the future of civil liberties in India and really for the rest of us. Is that if a person who at any level wants to bring out dissent from the given paradigms within which we operate, that can be clamped down without evidence, that bodes a very dangerous future for all of us. It has happened in country after country, it has happened in state after state. If you take with that the issue of Chhattisgarh, where corporate globalization has its paws well dug in and is trying to now gnaw into the very soul of the place, then all of it, suppression of dissent and exploitation of resources for the benefit of a few, how they come together, that makes the scheme very clear. And really we as people who are relatively privileged have really to make a choice of whether we want a future of civil liberties for all of us.
Joining today with many places all over the world. A few hours ago in Edinburgh, people dressed up as doctors chained themselves in front of the Indian embassy and handcuffed them. There have been similar actions in Bombay, in Washington DC, in Seattle. Some people are fasting in Buffalo. So we are raising a global voice against this injustice in Chhattisgarh, where the state has been intimidating the people who have said anything against the state. What Dr. Sen stood for is the injustice that was going on the backs of the poor tribal people whose lands are being exploited, who are being driven away from their homes by violence from all sides. Today there are about 1 lakh, about 100,000 people who are homeless in Chhattisgarh, who have ran away from their homes. These are the people that Dr. Sen spoke for, and and he was rewarded by 2 years of non-bailable jail. So we are here today to protest against that, to raise our voice against that.